Okay, here's another one of these essential question number ones for the fall of 2011. And yes, my TA does come up with some usual stuff. First off, we've got a high-tech company that's specializing in R&D. The company received a $100 million grant to work on feline-to-human communication device. Easiest way of thinking about this one is you've seen an increase in revenue, which causes an increase in net income, which causes an increase in cash from operations. You may have another thing where you interpret it, this is also a liability is there, but I think this is the simplest way of interpreting this one, and I like simple interpretations for this class because we don't want you to end up being accountants, we just want you to know what they're doing. You have to pay for some permits for new building expansion you're planning on starting next year. That's just going to be a simple kind of expense, so there's an increase in expenses. That means that there is a decrease in net income and a decrease in cash from operations. So that's the red one right there. Switching to green for question 3, you hire 3 new engineers fresh out of undergrad to carefully sift through hundreds of cubic meters of feline excrement, where the key to feline-human communication obviously lies. I'm going to say that's an expense, and that's a decrease in net income, and it's going to be a decrease in cash from operations. So I think the question 2 and question 3 are very much similar to each other. Again, we're going to have some fun stuff with a loan, which I'll switch to blue for. And this is one of the worst things we can do for you. If the loan didn't have any interest associated with it, you're just going to make principal payments. What you would see is a decrease in cash, and this is the payment that goes out the door effectively, and a decrease in liabilities. And because your liabilities are decreasing, you're going to see a decrease in cash from finance. What makes a loan complex is that you're also seeing an expense there. There's an interest expense, which is decreasing your net income and also decreasing your cash from operations. So this interest expense and the principal payment that we're making right there should add up to this decrease in cash. And so when you have that little piece of interest there, you got to have a little bit of owner equity too going down. That's one of the ugly ones, and we're pretty happy if you get those components right there, forgetting about this whole complexity of interest. As long as you have this decrease in assets, decrease in liabilities, and decrease in finance, I'm feeling okay about your answer. So let's go ahead and switch back to black again for question 5. Price of energy has fallen because of drastic advances in the efficiency of solar cells. Your company uses blah 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 annually. It's a lot of electricity. I think the presumption here is that your expenses on electricity are going to go down because your rates are going to go down. So let's go ahead and reduce your operating expenses, and we'll go ahead and increase your net income and also increase your cash from operations. Just remember that whatever direction your arrow goes over here, it's got to do the same thing over here, because that's what we're really looking at. Net income feeds directly into cash from operations. Head down to 6. In an effort to better its public image, your company launches a $5 million public relations campaign on Oprah Winfrey Network. Ooh, so that's an increase in expenses, and a decrease in net income, and a decrease in cash from operations. Looks like we have just far too many expense-related things. And next one, green, break-in cost you $100,000 in lost or stolen, broken equipment. You can handle this a couple of different ways. Almost the one way I prefer it is if you view this as a decrease in assets and a decrease in owner equity. I'm good with that. That's the lost or spoken equipment. You can also have it as an increase in expenses of some kind, because there's stuff that has to be repaired, which will actually reduce your net income and reduce your cash from operations. But I'm thinking this basic explanation is pretty good. And please note that if you do the basic explanation, there's no echo on the cash flow. And let's switch over to blue. Your company acquires a rival R&D firm for $500 million. Oh, so we get all sorts of new assets over here. And that's the R&D firm, and we have this giant decrease in assets because we probably paid cash for it. Yay! And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the investment category as a decrease in cash from investments because we're buying and selling assets there. So there's your key cluster for question number 8. Anyway, good luck with the rest of your essential questions.